Welcome to our lecture series. This is Meenakshi Dilip Birari, working as an assistant professor in chemistry at Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samaj, Nasik. As in previous lecture, we have seen the basic introductory part of agrochemicals. Today, we will see the various terms involved in agrochemicals. We have to study meaning and examples of pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fungicides and rodenticides in detail. So let's start. As we know, agrochemical is a contraction of agricultural chemistry, is a generic term for the various chemical products used in agriculture. In most cases, agrochemical refers to the broad range of pesticides including insecticides, herbicides, fungicides and nematicides. So we have to study the various terms involved in agrochemicals, meaning and examples of the various terms in detail. First of all, what is a pesticide? A pesticide is any agent that has a capacity to kill or prevent pests from attack. Or also it can be defined as any substance or mixture of substances intended for preventing, destroying, repelling pest. Example: DDT, BHC, Malathion, Parathion, 2,4-D, etc. Chemicals used for stimulating or retarding growth of plants, for removal of leaves, for desiccating plants, for repelling insects, for attracting insects and for sterilizing insects are also included among the pesticides. So simply, pesticide is any agent that has a capacity to kill or prevent pest from its attack. Now what is a pest? Living organisms that are not wanted or can cause damage to crops, humans or the environment, it is called as a pest. Examples: insects, weeds, fungi, bacteria, viruses, mice, etc. So unwanted living organisms which can cause damage to crops, humans or the environment is said to be a pest. Now what is the classification of pesticides? We have to study. The pesticides have been divided into following groups. These are insecticides, herbicides, fungicides, rodenticides, plant growth regulator, bactericide, nematicide, limicides, algicides, herboricides, antiseptics, ascaricides. So that is the classification of pesticides. We have to study in detail. Chemical pesticides on the basis of use, also classified as insecticides against insects, nematicides are used against nematodes, rodenticides against rodents, weedicides against weeds, fungicides against fungal diseases. So this is the classification of chemical pesticides on the basis of use. We have to study in detail about insecticides, nematicides, rodenticides and fungicides. First of all, insecticides. The word insecticide is derived from the Latin word insectum, means cut into, and cide means to kill, so that it is an agent which kills insects. These are called as insecticides. Examples: DDT, BHC, endosulfan, etc. Insecticides can be classified into various methods. It is classified on the basis of mode of action or method of utilization, and also on the basis of chemical nature and source of supply. So first of all, classification of insecticides according to the mode of action or method of utilization. According to the mode of action, the insecticides are classified into stomach or internal insecticides, contact insecticides or external insecticides, fumigants, attractants and repellents. Stomach or internal insecticides, these are the chemicals which are taken up by the insects. Example, lead arsenates, calcium arsenates, BHC, DDT, etc. Contact or external insecticides, they can destroy the insects simply by external body contact. Examples, aldrin, dialdrin, methoxychlor, rotenone, DDT, BHC, etc. Fumigants, the substances act on insects through the respiratory system. It is also called as a respiratory poison. For example, hydrogen cyanide, HCN, CS2, methyl bromide, nicotine, para-dichlorobenzene, chloropicrine, naphthalene, etc. Attractant, these are again the substances or the chemicals used for attracting insects. Example, geraniol, metaldehyde. And the next one, repellents. These are the chemicals used for repelling insects. Example, mosquito coil, mothballs. So this is the classification of insecticide according to the mode of action. Stomach or internal insecticide, contact or external insecticides, fumigants, these are also called as respiratory poison, attractant and repellents. So chemicals used to control damage or annoyances from insects by poisoning them through ingestion of stomach poisons, by contact with the cuticle or by fumigant action through the air. They can be killed. So it is the classification of insecticide according to the mode of action. Secondly, insecticides are also classified according to the chemical nature and source of supply. Mainly it is classified into three groups. These are inorganic insecticides, naturally occurring insecticides, synthetic organic insecticides. First one, inorganic insecticides. It is an arsenicals, also fluorine compounds, lead arsenates, calcium arsenate, Paris green, sodium fluoride, etc. Lead arsenate, it is employed for potato beetle and for coating moth in apple orchards. Calcium arsenates, these are also inorganic insecticides. Paris green is a copper acetoarsenate. Sodium fluoride, barium fluorosilicate, cryolite, etc. These are nothing but fluorine compounds, are also inorganic insecticides. Then secondly, naturally occurring insecticides which are having plant origin. These are also called as plant insecticides or botanical insecticides. In that, plant materials also used as a insecticides. The roots, leaves, flowers or stems of some plants are finely grounded and used as such, are also extracted active parts and used either alone or with another toxicants. So naturally occurring insecticides having the plant origin, these are called as the plant insecticides or botanical. Examples, nicotine, rotenone, alethrine. These are the examples of naturally occurring insecticides. Third one, synthetic organic insecticides. These are also classified as organochlorines, organophosphorus compounds, carbamates, sulfur containing compounds and fumigants. Organochlorines, these are the chlorinated hydrocarbons made up of chlorine, hydrogen and may have some sulfur and oxygen. Example, dialdrin, lindane, BHC, DDT, aldrin, etc. Organophosphorus compound, it consists of one or more atoms of phosphorus. Example, malthion, organophosphorus compound. Carbamates, it is a derivative of all carbamate structures consisting of ROCONH group. Example, carbaryl, begon, carbofuran, isolan, oxamyl, etc. Sulfur containing compounds, it is mainly containing sulfur and some other elements. Example, genitol, diphenyl sulfone, etc. Fumigants, they are also the volatile organic chemicals which evaporate at ordinary temperature and the fumes enter into the insect's body. Example, HCN, CH2, carbon disulfide, carbon tetrachloride, etc. So all these are nothing but synthetic organic insecticides that may include organochlorines, organophosphorus compounds, carbamates, sulfur containing compounds and fumigants. These are the examples of synthetic organic insecticides. Again, these are the various examples related to insecticides on the basis of chemical nature. These are classified as inorganic insecticides, naturally occurring insecticides and synthetic organic insecticides. It includes organochlorines, carbamates, organophosphates, sulfur containing compounds, fumigants, etc. Now we have to study herbicides. What is a herbicide? Herbicide is a chemical compound used to control or destroy unwanted plants. Herbicides are sometimes called weed killers. Selectively, herbicides remove certain weeds from certain crops. The selectivity is not absolute, but it is governed by the amount of chemical substance applied, the way it is applied, the degree of wetting of the foliage, etc. For example, 2,4-D, paraquat, bantene, sulfonyl urea, etc. These are the examples of herbicides. So simply, herbicide, that is a chemical compound used to control or destroy unwanted plants, are also called as a weed killers. We have to study the classification of herbicides. According to the mode of action, herbicides are also classified into various groups. First of all, according to mode of action, herbicides are classified into selective herbicides and non-selective herbicides. What is selective herbicide? It is used to kill the weeds only without damaging crop. Some of these interfering with the growth of weeds. For example, 2,4-D, dalpon, paraquat, butacarb, etc. So selective herbicides, that is the herbicide which is used to kill the weeds only without damaging crops. Some of these interfering with the growth of weeds. Non-selective herbicides, it destroys all crops and vegetation. They used to clear waste ground, industrial sites and railways by killing all plant material. So according to the mode of action or method of utilization, herbicides are classified into selective herbicides and non-selective herbicides. Secondly, according to their effect on weeds, herbicides are classified into systematic or translocated herbicides and contact herbicides. Systematic or translocated herbicides, they move along vascular system of plants, acting on their entire organisms. Complete coverage is not needed for systematic or translocated herbicides, whereas contact herbicides, they kill only the part of plants to which they are applied but not translocated in the plant. In that, Complete coverage is essential in weed control. So this is the classification of herbicides according to their effect on weeds, that is systematic or translocated herbicide and contact herbicide. Now we have to study fungicides. Fungicides are biocidal chemical compounds or biological organisms used to kill or inhibit fungi or fungal spores. Fungi can cause serious damage in agriculture, resulting in critical losses at yield, quality, and profit. Fungicides are used both in agriculture and to fight fungal infections in animals. So it is simply a chemical substance used to kill growth called fungi that are harmful to human beings and plants. So these are the examples related to fungicides, which are the biocidal chemical compounds or biological organisms used to kill or inhibit fungi or fungal spores. Fungicides are sprayed or dusted on plants to kill fungal diseases called rust, mildews, smooths, and molds. Mildew is nothing but destructive growth of small fungi that appears on the plant during warm, damp weather. So these are the diseases caused by fungi, can destroy or seriously damage food crops. Mildews, smooths, and rust. So when we observe this picture, we can see mildews. It is nothing but destructive growth of small fungi that appears on plant during warm, damp, and weather. Secondly, that is smooths. It is a disease of corn. And third picture, in that wheat stem rust, there is the formation of the rust on the stem of the wheat plant. So these are nothing but the diseases caused by fungi which can destroy or seriously damage food crops. Fungicides are also classified according to their effect on fungi into two groups. These are contact fungicides and systematic or translaminar fungicide. Contact fungicides, they are not taken up into the plant tissue and protect only the plant where the spray is deposited, whereas systematic or translaminar fungicide, they redistribute the fungicide from the upper sprayed lip surface to the lower unsprayed surface. They are taken up and redistributed through the xylem vessels. So this is the classification of fungicides according to their effect on fungi. Fungicides are also classified according to the chemical nature and source of supply. First one, that is inorganic fungicide and also organic fungicides. Inorganic fungicides, these are made from metal compounds. Example, Bordeaux mixture, copper oxychloride, sulfur compounds, lime sulfur, etc. And organic fungicides, these are compounds containing carbon, hydrogen and oxygen elements. Example, formaldehyde, chlorine, dithiocarbamate, zinc, etc. So this is the classification of fungicide according to the chemical nature and source of apply. Next one, we have to study about rodenticides. Rodenticides are pest control chemicals intended to kill rodents. Now what are rodents? These are nothing but which cut things with strong front teeth. For example, rat, mice, rabbit, these are nothing but the rodents. And rodenticides are pest control chemicals intended to kill rodents. Example, warfarin, sodium monofluoroacetate, zinc phosphide, etc. So these are nothing but rodenticides, which are the pest control chemicals intended to kill rodents. Mice, rat, rabbit, these are nothing but rodents. Now the next one we have to study plant growth regulators. What are plant growth regulators and what are the applications of plant growth regulators? Plant growth regulators are also known as plant hormones, are chemical substances that influence the growth and differentiation of plant cells, tissues and organs. For example, gibberellic acid, indole acetic acid, cytokinins, zeatin, kinetin, 6-benzyl aminopurine, diphenylurea, etc. These are nothing but plant growth regulators or plant hormones. What are the applications or uses of plant growth regulators? Plant growth regulators have several uses in modern agriculture. They increase the early germination of seeds and stimulate root development. It may accelerate ripening of fruit and grain, produce less but larger fruit by thinning out blossoms or fruit. It also prevents fruit from dropping off plants or trees before ripening. They may produce seedless fruit and control sprouting of potatoes. It may provide the industry the bigger market. So these are nothing but the applications or the uses of plant growth regulators in modern agriculture. They increase the early germination of the seed, stimulate the root development, also prevent the fruit from dropping of plants. It may provide the industry the biggest market. They may produce the seedless fruit and control sprouting of potatoes, like that. So these are the uses of plant growth regulators in modern agriculture. Now what are the plant growth regulators used in agriculture? What is the classification of plant growth regulators? These are currently 5 recognized groups of plant growth regulators or hormones. These are auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, abscisic acid and ethylene. The chemicals designed to alter and regulate the growth of the plants, that is called as a plant growth regulator, and it is used to improve yields, increases or decreases seed germination, improve the quality, ripening of fruits and grain, accelerate, produce seedless fruits, increase yields, etc. So plant growth regulators having the different types are class. First one, that is auxins, increase the plasticity of the plant cell wall and involve in stem elongation. It stimulates the cell elongation and influence a host of other developmental responses. Example, indole 3-acetic acid. Cytokinins are able to stimulate cell division and induce shoot bud formation in tissue culture. They usually act as antagonists to auxins. They often inhibit embryogenesis and root induction. Example, zeatin, kinetin, etc. Then gibberellins, these are also plant growth regulators. They cause stem elongation and flowering. Gibberellic acid, Ga3 and Ga4+7 are often used in plant tissue culture to induce adventitious root formation. Abscisic acid, it helps in regulating seed germination, including storage, protein synthesis, modulating water stress, etc. In plant tissue culture, it is used to help somatic embryogenesis during maturation and germination. And the last one, ethylene, it has a significant impact on development of root and shoots. So that is the classification of plant growth regulator. Auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, abscisic acid and ethylene. So commercially important growth regulator are gibberellins, can induce flowering in many plants at desired times. Naphthalene acetic acid, 3-indole acetic acid and indole butyric acid is used to stimulate root growth, inhibit pre-harvest fruit drop of apple. The use of small amount of ethpun, that is 2-chloroethyl phosphoric acid, induce flowering in pineapples. Succinic acid, that is 2,2-dimethylhydrazine, is spraying for control floral production in fruit trees. So these are nothing but the plant growth regulators or plant hormones. When use of plant hormones in small quantities are more effective, then there will be changes in plant responses such as resistance to drought, cold diseases or ripening time, etc. So overall, that is the classification of plant growth regulators and also the uses and applications of plant growth regulators. So in this lecture, we have discussed the various terms involved in agrochemicals. Now in next lecture, we have to study pesticide formulation in detail, the applications of pesticide formulation and method of pesticide formulation. So in next lecture we will discuss about pesticide formulation. Thank you.